Property taxes are one of those expenses that never goes away. And for many homeowners in Texas, they can feel like a moving target, constantly rising as property values climb. But what if I told you that once you reach a certain age, you could put a stop to those increases, protect your budget, and even carry that protection with you if you decide to move? That's exactly what the senior freeze and property tax ceiling transfer allow you to do. And it can be an imperative for retirement planning and long-term home ownership. Most people only know bits and pieces about how these benefits work. But today, we're going to go deeper, looking at not just the freeze itself, but also other exemptions seniors can tap into, and how the ceiling can follow you from one home to the next. I'm Megan Johnson, your local broker realtor with Modernist Realty here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I'll be walking you through the details you need to know. Stay tuned until the very end, because understanding these rules could save you thousands of dollars and give you more freedom in choosing where you want to live next. Let's start by breaking down what's commonly called the senior freeze in Texas. Once a homeowner turns 65, they become eligible for an over 65 homestead exemption. This not only lowers the taxable value of the home, but it also places a ceiling on the amount of school district property taxes they'll ever have to pay going forward. In other words, when you qualify for this exemption, your school district taxes are effectively frozen at a set level, regardless of how much your property value goes up in the future or how tax rates may fluctuate. That's where the term senior freeze comes from. It locks you in your school tax burden, creating predictability and stability. But here's the nuance. The freeze applies specifically to the school district portion of your property tax bill, not the entire bill itself, unfortunately. Other taxing entities like your city, county, or hospital district can still increase over time unless they too adopt similar freezes. Some jurisdictions do and some don't. So while the senior freeze doesn't eliminate increases across the board, it does target one of the largest portions of your property taxes, which makes it incredibly valuable on its own. On top of that, there are other tax breaks available to seniors that can stack with the freeze. For example, the over 65 homestead exemption itself is a reduction in the taxable value of your home, lowering the base amount against which your tax rate is applied overall. You can also combine that with the standard homestead exemption if you already claim it. And if you qualify as a disabled homeowner, there's an additional exemption that you can also claim. And let's not forget the veterans as well have a claim. So together, these can significantly reduce your property tax bill, sometimes by thousands of dollars annually. What's important to note is that these exemptions are not automatic. You must apply through your county's appraisal district. And if you haven't done so, you may even be eligible to apply retroactively for up to 2 years prior, as well as for the year you turned 65. That's a little known fact that many homeowners miss out on. Now, let's move into one of the most powerful aspects of Texas law. the ability to transfer or port your school tax ceiling to a new home. A lot of people assume that if they move after turning 65, they'll lose their freeze, but that isn't true. Texas allows you to carry over the benefit anywhere in the state as long as you qualify for the over 65 or disabled person exemption on your new homestead. And here's where the math gets interesting. It isn't a fixed dollar amount that transfers, but rather a percentage. Let me illustrate with an example. Imagine your previous home had a school tax ceiling of $250. But if there were no ceiling, your school taxes would have been $1,000. That means you were paying only 25% of the uncapped amount. When you move to your new home, your new ceiling will be set at 25% of that property's school tax bill. So if your new home's school taxes would normally be $1,500, your new ceiling becomes $375. This ensures that the relative savings you had on your old home carry over proportionally to the new one. The process to transfer the ceiling is rather straightforward, but must be done correctly. First, you'll need to request a certificate of transfer from the appraisal district of your former home. Then, once you've purchased and moved into your new property, you'll apply for your homestead and over 65 or disabled exemption with the new appraisal district. At that point, you'll present your certificate of transfer and the ceiling will be ported to your new home. Without this step, you won't see the benefit. So it's critical to handle the paperwork as part of your move. There are a few additional considerations worth noting here. If you're moving within the same taxing unit, for example, within the same city or county, other local tax ceilings may also transfer, not just the school district ceiling. However, if you're moving to a different taxing unit or authority, only the school portion is guaranteed to carry over. Another key point is that the benefit extends to surviving spouses who are at least 55 years old. As long as they continue to live in the home, they can keep the tax ceiling. And if they later move, they too can port that ceiling to a new property. Sounds awesome, right? Finally, while the ceiling itself won't adjust for normal repairs or maintenance, if you make significant improvements to a home, like adding onto a home or building a new structure, your ceiling can be adjusted to account for those additions as well. So here's the bottom line. Rising property taxes don't have to dictate your retirement budget or limit your housing choices. With the senior freeze, additional senior exemptions, and the ability to transfer your tax ceiling anywhere in Texas, you have tools to protect your finances and maintain flexibility, whether you're aging in place or planning your next move. I'm Megan Johnson with Modernist Realty here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And my team and I specialize in helping homeowners like you not only buy and sell, but also navigate the financial strategies that make those decisions smarter and more informed overall. So if you've gone through the process of applying for the senior freeze or transferring your tax ceiling, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below so that others can learn from your experience. And If you're thinking about making a move here in the area and want to make sure you take full advantage of these and other benefits, reach out to me directly and I'll walk you through the process step by step. Don't forget to like this video, and if it was helpful, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you stopping by and watching today. So until next time, I will see you later, and have a good one. Be blessed. Bye-bye.